Hello, third grade. Hope all is well with you. I'm actually going to enlarge this a little bit so we have a little more space. Um, we are into our 12th week of our number talk video series. Again, just like all weeks, I really highly recommend that you actually pause the video right now and make an effort to solve A, B, and C using the strategy, and just write your solution off to the side. That'd be fantastic. And then, like I said, I will walk you through a couple different ways to use the strategy. These are not the only ways to use the strategy, but to me, they're the most practical in my personal opinion for me as I look at the problem. So one of the things is we're going to be introducing you, some of you, to new vocabulary. Some of you not. I know some of you have been exposed to this before. Some of you haven't. It's not here nor there. It's just making sure that we are all on the same page. When we talk about 30, we talk about losing 17. Well, 30 is called the minuend. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to, actually, no, I can write the whole thing out. I have space. So minuend. And we have the subtrahend. And I think an easier way to remember this thing about sub. What are you subtracting? What number is being subtracted? Subtrahend. So as we look at this, one of the ways we can solve this is we could actually subtract 1 from 30. So we can make that into 29. And then that way we're not borrowing. So what's 29 lose 17 is an answer of 12. We have to remember that we took away 1 from the minuend. So in our answer, we have to add that 1 back. So we have a difference of 13. Now, also though, make sure we see what happens though. What if we changed the subtrahend, not the minuend? So let's look at another way. We're not going to touch the 30. What if we said, well, we're going to impact the 17. Let's add 3. So we're going to say 30 lose 20. Now, let's go back though to our first example. We took away 1 from the minuend. We had to add 1 back to our answer. Here, we added 3 to the subtrahend. We're going to have to add 3 back to our answer. So just make sure we're paying attention to that. I don't want you to think that that's a rule, like, oh, if you subtract, then you're going to add. No, think about what's happening between our minuend and our subtrahend, and think about how the number is being impacted to find your answer. Here, we'll look at 51 lose 28. We'll look at it a little different way. So what if we have 51, we lose 28? So let's, in both cases, let's only impact the subtrahend. We're going to leave the minuend alone. Okay, that would be an option. Well, actually, here, we'll show you 3 examples. So if I added 2, so I could say 51 lose 30 is 21. But I'm going to have to go back and say, okay, well, 21 plus 2, so I know that it's a difference of 23. Now, the other thing you could have done is you could say you have 51 lose 28. And what if you went ahead and subtracted 8 to make that a friendlier number? So you would have 51 lose 20. That would be a difference of 31. But we'd still have to subtract 8 from that difference to give us an answer of 23. So let's be honest, I don't think that was an easy way to do it. But if we notice, look what we did. Here we added. Here we added. Here we subtracted. Here we subtracted both times because we were impacting the subtrahend. Now, let's look at it though another way. What if we wanted to impact the minuend? We said, okay, well, we don't want to have to borrow if we do it as an algorithm. So we're going to subtract 2. So that'd give us 49, lose 28, which gives us an answer of 21. But remember, we subtracted 2. So we have to add that 2 back to give us 23. Now, a neat thing to ask yourself is, and it's for a great conversation, why is it when we add to the subgerund, we have to add to our solution? Why is it when we subtract from the subgerund, we have to subtract from our solution? But when we impact the minuend, if we're going to subtract from the minuend, then we're going to add to the difference. Okay? It's a great question to ask yourself, and put it out on a number line. And it's really a neat thing for you to play around with. And it's something we'll be talking about in class. Now, let's look at 172. So 172 lose 58. To me, the difference, I would actually add 2 to here. So I would say we have 60. So 172 lose 60 gives us a 112. But remember, we added 2. So what do we have to come back to our answer? Our final solution, add 2. So the difference must be 114. Or you might have looked at it this way. 172, maybe you said, well, I'm going to lose 3. So I could have 169. So when I subtract my 58, I'm left with 111. But remember, if I took away 3, I'm going to have to add that 3 back to my solution. So my difference is 114. So again, those are a few different ways you can look at it. I know for some of you, the minuend and subgerund might be new terms, but it's just something for us to think about as we're talking about subtraction strategies. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, please, 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 please ask. Thank you.